Really good thriver. What is a thriver? Hey guys, welcome to episode 46 of the Knit Now Swatch Later podcast. My name is Courtney. Today is Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. This is a knitting podcast where I talk about all of my projects and things that I'm wanting to make and whatever other things I happen to be getting into in the last couple of weeks. I'm coming to you from Pennsylvania, where I live with my husband and our 2 dogs and 2 cats. You can find links to all of my projects below, as well as everything else that I talk about in this episode. You can find me on Ravelry as Pup and on Instagram as Knit Now Swatch Later. You can also find my Etsy shop at whiterosefibercompany.com. So I have one finished object to show you guys today. It is my finished pair of vanilla shorties. I cast these on originally for summer sock camp. Did not finish them until like last week, so that's where we are on that. This is Bad Wolf Girl Studios in the colorway Stranger Things, and the mini is from a different sock set of hers. I knit these on USA's 2.25 millimeter Addy Flexi Flips, and they're just plain vanilla socks. So those are finally done, and then I have some sad news about my Mama cardigan. I've finally decided to frog it. It's been on my needles for like 3 years, and I have no motivation to work on it. I love the finished sweater. I think it's a really beautiful sweater, but I just don't ever want to work on it. So frog that. Well, actually, I haven't frogged it yet. It's on the floor here staring at me, waiting to be frogged, but it'll happen. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that really quick. And then next up, I have a half object, which is another vanilla sock. This is the Desert Vista Dye Works in the colorway Zombies Late. This is where I was the last time I showed this sock on the podcast. So decent amount of progress in the last couple of weeks. It's so nice to have something else off the needles, that I'm going in the right direction for the make along, so that feels really nice. So the second sock I have over here in my Alice in Wonderland bag that I cast on, I think on Monday, and I finished the leg and the heel, and now I'm down to the gusset decreases. I also did something weird for my heel turn. For some reason, I cut the yarn right after I finished the heel flap, so I did my heel turn in a different color, and I've never done that before, so that was interesting. But I did it while we were in the car driving from Ohio, so I just let it go. I was like, whatever, I'm not taking it all out and doing it again in the car. So it's a little bit different than the other one, but oh well, it's not going to bother me. So, and then I have in one of my floral project bags from the shop, let's see, I have one of these left in the shop if you're interested. I have my Weekender Late that I've been working on for a while now, but I finally finished the bottom bands. It is a split hem, so I finished both the bands and I joined them in the round, and then I just joined them in the round, and I think I knit like a row or two, and then I put this away because I'm not wanting to work on this until I finish my sock that I just showed you guys. And I feel like I've been doing really well with focusing on one project at a time and working on it until it's finished, which is the whole point of the make along. So hopefully it's inspiring you guys as well to kind of buckle down and finish your projects, because I know it's definitely been working for me this year. So yeah, I also updated my progress keeper to Oogie Boogie. So this is where I was the last time I showed it on the podcast, and then progress from there. I also switched out my stitch markers to be fall leaves. There's the other one. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to start working on that a little bit more. I only have one more project standing in the way of me and my weekender, so that's pretty exciting. So that's all that I have for knitting content. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but for my works in progress, I do have one more thing to show that is very out of character for me and this podcast. So if you've seen my Instagram, you already know, but I knit a swatch. I knit a swatch, guys. Yeah, so send help. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I knit a swatch for the Bean and Olive sweater by Andrea Mowry. And I am knitting this sweater for my friend's daughter. She is 4, and I just really wanted to make sure that it's going to fit her nicely so that she can wear it this year and hopefully next year. And I just didn't want to take any chances with that, so I decided to knit a swatch. And as you can see, I couldn't fully commit to the swatch because it's definitely not 30 something rows long, but we did what we could. We tried. But I mean, according to the swatch, which I did in the round, that's what all of these little strands are. I knitted in the round, I did my little garter stitch border, and I washed and blocked it and measured it when it was dry. So according to this swatch, my sweater should be perfect. It should fit her perfectly. But we know how swatches tend to lie, at least for me. So if this sweater doesn't come out perfect, I'm gonna freak out because I spent time on a swatch and I don't do that. But yeah, so caught off on a little bit of a rant there, but that's okay. So there was my swatch, but it measured exactly 4 inches using the size needles that were recommended in the pattern. So hopefully it'll go smoothly, but we shall see. And then I already have my project bag picked out. This is one of the very first project bags that I made for the shop about a year ago. Actually, I don't even think I had an Etsy shop when I made this, but so I have everything kind of set up in here already. I have my contrast yarn for the color work in this little pouch that my friend Shelly gave me. It is a very pretty pink. The cake is a little bit messy, but that's okay. And this is Knit Picks Swish DK in the colorway Blossom Heather. I'm using that for the color work. And then the main color of the sweater in another really messy cake is Dove Heather from Knit Picks in the Swish DK. So I have that all caked up, ready to cast on. Again, I am waiting. I'm being very good, very, very good, and holding off to cast this on until I finish that pair of socks. And then all of my whips, except for these 2 sweaters, will be done. And that'll just be such a nice feeling. I ordered that yarn from Knit Picks, and I also ordered this Brava Bulky in the colorway Seraphim. It's just a really pretty, it's showing up like really pale lavender, but it's a little bit darker than this. It's a really pretty color, and I have just been on a baby knitting kick lately. All of my friends are pregnant or having babies or have little kids or something. So I decided that I'm going to knit or crochet this pattern from Baby and Kids Crochet Style by Jennifer Dougherty. And the pattern is called Wind Chill Hooded Button Up Baby Cocoon. And I got this book on clearance a while ago, and I just love that. I think it's so cute. So it's been on my list for a while. So while I was shopping for yarn already, I picked up 4 skeins of this to cast that on eventually. I don't really have any plans for it right now, but I'll probably cast it on sometime this fall. That would be nice. So that's it for yarny crafting and acquisitions. So I do have one more thing that I made, which is a t-shirt with Nightmare Before Christmas. It has Jack and Oogie Boogie and Zero, Boogie's Boys, all of that. And it's just, my husband actually took this picture off the internet. I found a picture I wanted, and he made it into like a t-shirt thing. And I cut it out on my Cricut, and I ironed it on, and I'm so excited about it. So technically, that's a finished object. I'm just saying. So I think that's everything for crafty content. So moving into books, I am still working on Defending Jacob by William Landay. I noticed that the author's name was not in the show notes last episode of the podcast. I just put William, and I never went back and filled in his last name. So it is in the show notes for sure for this episode if you were looking for that last time. So sorry about that, my bad. But I am really enjoying it. It's been a long time since I've read a mystery, and I'm enjoying it. And I actually found an audiobook version of it, so I've been going back and forth between, well, mainly I read it in the waiting room when I'm waiting at the hospital. But since we have a 2-hour drive there and back a couple times a week, we've been listening to the audiobook for at least part of the trip up. So we listen to the audiobook on the way up in the car, and then I figure out where I am in my book, and then I read it from the book in the waiting room. So I am really enjoying it, and I think my husband's enjoying it too, the bits and pieces that he gets in the car. So we'll see. I think I have like 100-something pages left. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. And I do already have my next book picked out. It's Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I found that at the library the last time I was there, so I checked it out, and I'm super excited to read that. I love Riley Sager. He's a really good thriller author that I really enjoy. I always finish his books super fast, so I'm really looking forward to starting that, but I have to finish this book first. So not that that's a problem. I am really enjoying it. But anyway, moving on. I've had a lot of like weird tangents this episode, so it might be a little longer than normal. So moving into chat, I wanted to talk about the make-along again. The Clear the Needles make-along is going on now until October 12th. The Ravelry threads will be closed and winners will be drawn on October 12th and then announced on the next episode of the podcast, which should be October 15th. I think that's right. I'll have to check. So make sure that you are entering your FOs into the Ravelry thread and also just chatting in the chatter thread. I might pull some prizes from there. We shall see. There are a couple of things in the threads already that are looking awesome so far, so make sure that you head over there and check it out. And then I am chatting back and forth in the chatter thread, but I'm not responding to posts in the finished object thread because I don't want to throw off the numbers for choosing prizes. So if I don't respond to your post, that's why. If you do want to chat with me, head over to the chatter thread over on Ravelry. And then for the make-along, I do have some prizes ready. I received an awesome donation from a viewer of the podcast. Her name is Katie Brohard, and she sent in some repurposed knitting needle pens. They're ballpoint pens, and they are so awesome. So she sent one set of these these are handmade by her husband, and his name is James Brohard. So they're just so cool. I can't get over how awesome these are. And then she also sent a set for me. So these are mine, and I love them. I have them in this cup on my desk that I use. That's my puppy that I use, or that I keep all of my pens and stuff in, and I have just been using them roughly every time I sit at my desk. So I'm loving them, and I'm really excited that I get to give away a set. And then Katie did want me to mention that her husband does not sell them. They don't have an Etsy shop or anything like that. So if anyone was wondering, sorry, they don't sell them. But if you enter the giveaway, you might win your own set, which is super exciting. And then to go with that, I also picked up this notebook from Michaels. It just says today is the day. I thought it was really pretty, and then it would be a nice little pen and notebook set. And then I'm also going to throw in a sock pouch from my business, whiterosefibercompany.com, and that will be winner's choice. So lots of good prizes, so make sure that you enter, make sure that you're finishing things and posting over in the Ravelry thread. I have links to both the finished object thread and the chatter threads over on Ravelry, linked in the description box down below. I think that's pretty much everything that I have to chat about this week, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps get my channel out there to other knitters who would like to watch, so it is greatly appreciated. I share a new video every 2 weeks, so until next time, happy knitting. Bye!